if the players are ready. Hello to the parents of Sin and EG.iNcontrol, and thanks for joining us here for the EG Masters Cup.
I know, I'm so pumped. It looks like we're going into Lost Temple. EG.iNcontrol did choose this map. This is the map that does allow for some very easy Colossus defense. Your cliff is so close to your natural expansion. It's very, very, very convenient. On Xel'Naga Caverns, don't have that luxury. EG.iNcontrol is going to be very happy to see that he's spawning in the right position as the red Protoss, and in the north position is Sin as the blue Terran. I say he likes this because of the fact that if you just look at the map, whenever EG.iNcontrol expands, he has farther and farther distances from his opponent.
Right, and in any case, that's always going to turn out to be a good plus for the player. A little bit easier to defend those positions. You don't have to fight over a gold, which often happens if you're cross map on the long way. But this is next two positions in the close range here. So we do have Supply Depot going down, Pylon going down. EG.iNcontrol is going to go ahead and scout clockwise, which means he will find the Terran at his last position, Sin at the last position, and just continuing to probe up here, chrono boosting his probes, and checking out bases that have absolutely nothing in them.
Yeah, but this is going to be a very, very big help to EG.iNcontrol because, you know, on a map like Shakura's Plateau, it's very obvious that you're going to play different styles of games. In some positions, you have a backdoor, and other positions, you don't have a backdoor that you have to worry about as much. It's a little more subtle on Lost Temple, though. EG.iNcontrol isn't just scouting the bottom because he's saying, oh, I may as well scout the bottom first, but because it's the closest distance by ground.
Right.
If he can eliminate that, immediately he's saying, okay, I'm going to be a little more comfortable going for gate on 14 or 15 instead of on 12 or 13. Oh, I'm going to be a little more comfortable doing a 1-gate fast expand, whereas I would ordinarily have to like 2-gate fast expand if he was close.
And you are exactly right. He did manage to go for that late gate after it, and then put down his assimilator as well. Now his probe is moving over and is going to scout the base. Also really like this new pylon he put down here. Gives you good vision of the ground as well as just another air vision. Sometimes some medevacs can squeeze and squeak on through there. And another gas steal by EG.iNcontrol.
And you know, this is actually, I think, a great choice on Lost Temple. On Lost Temple, there's a lot of angles where Banshees can be so annoying. In particular, there's this little frill at the edge of the map that you can hide your Banshees along and then begin picking off probes. There's, of course, the cliff overlooking your expansion. Banshees can sweep in and do outrageous amounts of damage, and it's so nice to just say, great, going to be up against a barracksing player or just a delayed expanding player. And it looks like Sin is kind of just pretending that there's not an assimilator there.
I was actually going to say the exact same thing. First Marine didn't go over. I mean, he wants to stay at the ramp to make sure that the probe can't get in. That's good. Meanwhile, Sin has taken a second Marine and is scouting around the base. Third Marine is going to come out. Finally, he's like, all right, assimilator, you're mine. Additionally, Tech Lab is going to go down, and that's interesting because EG.iNcontrol is going to have vision, so at least he knows, okay, I've got a Tech Lab with the barracks, and I've got a factory going down. So that actually will pay off in that regard as well.
Yeah, this is a pretty small set of choices that Sin has left. Not as in that Sin is screwed by any means, but that EG.iNcontrol is feeling very comfortable. He has a Zealot, he has a Stalker out. Would not be surprised to see just an expand right away as he knows the exact set of units he'll be up against. And is that Starport in vision range? Sin is making absolutely sure that EG.iNcontrol is guaranteed to see everything, and I don't know why.
Yeah, he could have easily put that somewhere below the factory. Finally, the assimilator goes down. Refinery will take its place. Here does come a Hellion, and Hellion likely just going to be mostly scouting here because this Zealot and this Stalker shouldn't have too much problem. However, being as fast as it is going to get past that force. Nothing else coming out of the gateway. Trying to chrono boost the final little bit of that warp gate research, and he's going to come in here and do a little harass on these probes.
And notice that EG.iNcontrol is trying to hug to the left. He doesn't want these 4 warp gates to get scouted, and they all get scouted. Oh, that is terrible news. Sin is just going to build extra bunkers. He's building extra barracks. He's going for the Banshees yet again. Might even invest in some additional Hellions. EG.iNcontrol, very surprised to see him go for this sort of cheesy play. I mean, his straight-up game is so strong. This is another way of saying, I'm going to try to end it early.
Wow, and he is really going out here early. One pylon in the back, a second one here to reinforce and warp in units. At the same time, we do have a Banshee coming out for our Terran player, Sin, and nothing has been coming out of that factory at all. So he's put his resources into that starport. We don't even have barracks units coming out here. And here we go, busted up through the front, going after that first bunker. He's now warping in here on the high ground. SCV's got to come out. It's not looking good.
And it looks like he just reloads back into the bunkers again. In-Control being extremely aggressive with this push. Now just trying to move all the way in. Oh, I do not like that play because the Banshee is now in the main. Banshee's going to be getting a lot of free hits on all of those Stalkers. It looks like all these units are essentially committed to dying right now. There is no way that In-Control can possibly hope to retreat. He is warping in more Zealots in the front, trying to pick off this Banshee. Zealot's doing a good bit of damage. It's all going to come down to In-Control's micro and whether or not he can do enough damage with these forces.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going to have to retreat that Marauder back to the barracks, and he's continuing. The Tech Lab finishes a second time and will go down again, and that means no more Banshee. Stalker's going to move up now, take care of this Banshee. If it goes down, this has got to be GG, as more Stalkers being warped in. SCVs come out a second time, and there it is.
Ow! Ow, what a really embarrassing loss from Sin. He spotted the 4 warp gates. He had all those bunkers at the front. He was killing so many units and then just got really calm a little too early. He said, oh, I'm fine. There's no way I can possibly lose this game. And honestly, I thought there was no way he could possibly lose that game. But after some nice control by In-Control, oh, that's a very, very bitter loss for Sin.
What are your thoughts on the fact that when the additional warp gates were found, there wasn't any panic by In-Control, but very much decisiveness on, okay, I'm going now. Had he waited just a minute, 30 seconds, not had that first pylon down, I'm not sure that would have exactly worked. So